Hello, y'all. I'm back. It's 4:46 p.m. now. So, I ended up, I guess my sleep was spotty last night. I'm trying to hold the phone together. And I don't know. I don't know if I got between 3 and 5 hours of sleep last night, and my sleep was spotty. And so today, I attempted to watch a couple of documentaries, and, I dozed off and fell asleep through both of them. And which was almost 4 hours. But even my sleep was spotty even with that too. And I woke up after 3:30, I guess, and still feeling a sleep deprived feeling with pressure on my heart. So now I have no money at all in paper or coins, no physical money, and only $1.60 in the bank. So wow, I still feel like I need more sleep. But I think it's gonna be colder tonight or tomorrow morning than it was this morning and last night, and I'm not ready. Um, I well, if I would have had sufficient amount of funds, I could have gone back today and go take another shower and change clothes, and I could have been getting my money's worth going just about every day. But I already show y'all documentation of what the abusive bus drivers put me through, and it's like, why go through that hell every single damn day just to get transportation and ride the buses? So I guess I have to just minimize it to like twice a week or so, but they're doing this on purpose. So they're doing this on purpose. But then they're the first and the same ones who always talk about you stink, you need a bath, you dirty, whatever. But then y'all sabotage me trying to get a shower every day. Or y'all give me hell or hassle me and just give me a hard time. I could have had a doggone shower and changed clothes, but I would have to be screaming out for help because it's nearly time for me to get laundry done. Because yes, my clothes are just about there for it to be like almost all my clothes are dirty, and it's time to turn back around again and get laundry done. It's about that time again. So I guess I gotta just stretch it until next week. I won't be able to get the convenience, maybe. Well, I won't be able to get the funds and the convenience to do laundry until next either Monday or Tuesday to get laundry done. So so I'm sitting here thinking like the shorts videos, I guess it helps boost me getting more subscribers, but at the same time, I'm not getting, I have like still the same about 10 or 12 supporters and maybe like a couple of new ones, a couple of new people. But um then it's like only a couple of new people, you know. But then at the same time, I'm getting an increase of subscribers, but increasing harassing comments and thumbs down. Excuse me, my nose is all itchy. So it was just itching just about just now, you know. So a lot of times it's like I'm constantly bombarded with the gang stalking all day, every day, all day, every day. But I'm glad that sometimes I can get some free, nowadays, I can get some freedom from the director energy weapons to the point where sometimes I forget that I forget that I even suffer that sometimes. But back then, it was incessant, like non-stop direct energy weapons, and they would never let me rest. Constant assault all day long, all day, every day. But I mean, it took a few years. Oh, I mean, when I first woke up to the truth and found out about all this, and you know, I don't want to give the perps ideas, but when I had to deal with this stuff so bad that they tortured me out of my house, moved to another place, they tortured me out of there. I mean, that when you target an individual and you get tortured with director energy weapons so bad that it's unbearable. Plus, you got to deal with harassment and abuse from landlord and neighbors. And if you're on Section 8, the Section 8 office, or, you know, if you got an apartment, you know, leasing office and everything, you got neighbors harassing you, snooping through your trash. Always got that one perp neighbor nearby who act like they think they're narcissistic enough that they act like they think they own me. And one controlling, bossy neighbor, and at least one of them everywhere I doggone live at. You know, who think they got the authority to try to police me or be my parent or treat me like a total puppet on a string. And, you know, if they act like they can put, like your next door neighbor, acting like they think they have the authority. Like if I'm living in Los Angeles and the next door neighbor act like she thinks she got, and this is true example, act like she thinks she got the authority to dictate that I shouldn't be allowed to go back to my hometown, New Orleans, and see any family or anybody. Or that same lady thinks she got the authority to police or dictate what grocery stores I should shop at. And she was a narcissistic, control freak, fake hypocrite, and a perp as well. That Patricia Horton lady I'm talking about. And when I was living in Denton, Texas, the next door neighbors thought they had authority over me. And then also living in Jefferson, Louisiana, which is part of New Orleans, that fake Jehovah's Witness lady. Oh, what was that lady's name? It just slipped my mind. Oh man. Debbie, Miss Debbie, that's her name. She was another one who treated me like I was really mentally slow and thought she can try to order me around and tell me what to do. And they want to get in my business and keep tabs on me, you know, like as if I'm a little freaking child, like a punished child with no rights. But here you are in a freaking cult, part of the fake Jehovah's Witnesses cult, you know. So, And people who are part of fake Jehovah's Witness cults, if you end up having a close friendship with one of them, they do stuff like sneak behind your back and act narcissistic enough that they will lie on you, make up lies on you, and stuff like that, you know. And it's like I've seen people who act like a normal friend, and then the instant they join that cult, like, wow, you just joined a week ago and you got a whole new personality already? That was quick. So as many sins as the fake Jehovah's Witness cult members commit, and like this Caucasian disabled female named Lisa Yeoman, I remember she got hateful, and she joined the fake Jehovah's Witness cult, and she blocked me and somebody else from that we went to school with when we were during the Facebook days years ago. She blocked me and another person just because we said a curse word. But I heard about the horrific crimes that they commit, you know. But it's like, I don't know, it's weird that with I've thought about also doing a blog post about my fake ID. I did a few YouTube videos like exposing the cult, but I'm just thinking about, I have one of my blog posts lined up, thinking about writing about, not just exposing the cult, but talking about my experiences in the fake IDMR cult. And it's like the foster mom played like a 100% role in my experiences in the cult, whether directly or indirectly. And also, I have lined up another blog post talking about, and I did that back in 2019 in a YouTube video, and that's one of the YouTube videos I thought of to remember since Starbricker got everything falsely washed away. So I'm trying to think and remember certain posts that I did way back from 2019, trying to remember, because even in 2019, I was talking a lot about the foster mom's abuse and what she did. And it's like, me talking a lot about the foster mom's abuse and the foster family abuse, the abuse that we went through growing up. And it's like, as I said, everything had to have pointed out. I knew she was very mean, but I didn't know that she had those kind of connections and that she was that damn diabolical to put me in a gang stalking program. So, and that's going to be like a nice bit of writing that I need to be mentally level-headed for. I need to be mentally level-headed for her to, for me to write about how she ran. Forget about the religious cult, the fake IDMR cult. But I gotta, shucks, just the way she ran her household. What was it like? Like a brief overview of what was it like living underneath her control and abuse. And one narcissistic fake TI perp think he got the authority to dictate that I should be forbidden and not allowed to talk about my traumas and abuse, but you don't run my freaking life and you're 8 years younger than me. So you can't force or make me shut up. Plus, you ain't in my life no more. And you're an internet stranger who I never will meet in person. So I see they got a lot of closet Satanists. A lot of people are some closet Satanists, and the same people who be call themselves targeted, and then um, call themselves targeted and Christian, but behind closed doors, they running around defending and agreeing with people who say "Hail Satan," or they themselves got pictures and videos of themselves throwing up satanic hand signs and stuff. And you play both sides, but then you tell me to repent, or try to make me feel like the most terrible sinner, that is no redemption for Candy. So I got a lot. I probably over 15 or 20 fiction and nonfiction writing assignments that I got for myself. And sometimes I feel discouraged because I felt like, if this earth will pass away soon, or if time pass away soon, or if this or that disaster will happen, I'm sitting here feeling like I'm running out of time. Especially with the big projects, writing projects that I'm trying to that I've been in the process of working on. And one of them I thought about that I might have to do it all the way from scratch, all over again. I've been working on this since 2019, before I even left New Orleans. And that's been like put on hold because of my homeless situation and this forced sleep deprivation. And then a lot of writing times when I do the writing, while I'm physically typing or writing on my phone, working on an assignment, I'm either severely sleep deprived, or I end up or they torture me so bad with the electronic weapons that I'm forced to stop, like an electronic ass whipping, like an electronic torture ass whipping. It's either one of those two, or either that, or if I'm in a hotel or a motel room and I'm working on something serious with trying to write and stuff, I end up being forced to deal with unbearable severe noise campaigns. That too, to slow me up or stop me. And then I'd be agitated and frustrated, and then lose my train of thought and can't even properly write. And then I heard that there's this thing called stupidware. And the earliest I noticed it was like 2019. I'm sorry, 2009, before I even was aware that I was targeted. It was about 2009 that I would realize that, say if I type the word, I'm gonna just throw a random word out there. Okay, I'm looking at the word Adidas right here. So if I type the word Adidas, and then I type Adidas, even with the automatic, what do they have? The word suggestions. I press the word suggestion Adidas, like the moment I start to type ADI and then Adidas comes up, I press that. Then as I'm pressing send, it flips to Anina's or something, to something that sounds nonsensical. And I didn't realize and I was wondering why was that happening. And I didn't realize it was called stupidware. That, and so sometimes I be like sleep deprived and realize that, wow, I got to go back and proofread. But as I said, I don't want anybody else. I want to write just by myself. I don't want anybody else to try to police or control my writings. And I don't want to deal with narcissistic fake editors who just want to take your money. Like if they volunteer and offer and then demand money out of you and make it like you owe them, when I didn't come to you and ask you to edit my stuff, you know, or they take it upon themselves and just trying to nitpick at stuff just to try to turn around and make it like as if you're obligated to owe them money when you didn't ask them. When they don't care that I'm freaking homeless and already struggling. You know, so I've even said since 2019, you know, since 2019, you know, I've been saying that I want to write novels and nonfiction ebooks. And this lady on UNO campus, before I came here to Pensacola, she tried to tell me, you can't do that. You have to have an editor. You know, and she didn't even get to really see my writings or nothing. But it wasn't until summer or fall 2020 when it was Jocasta Lester. I think I've reread it again. She suggested that I turn my targeting and traumas into short stories and make money off of that. Well, she suggested that I write short stories, but I have fun with it and try to write short stories, you know, on many different topics, many different, well, not many, but some different topics and different themes. Like, and sometimes I try to write about some place I never been. Like, I never been to Louisville, Kentucky, or somewhere. Um, but if I look up a little bit of history or a little bit of the geography or certain places and develop a short story like that, or if I might develop, or if I might talk about a certain cultural thing that I never experienced, you know, if I never I mean, but a lot of times it does come from stuff that I've experienced or places I've experienced. But, um, you know, just because I use some familiar places does not mean that the character is always secretly me. And the majority of the time, it's not secretly me. I just write from the top of my head. And, you know, I've written a couple of short stories where I'm the main character or where I'm the a character in the story, and I would use my name Candy, you know. But I don't know how many. I'm pretty sure I wrote over 100 short stories, but I don't know how many short stories that I wrote. I don't know how many short stories I wrote. Um, but most people ignore and don't pay attention both on the writing community and on Twitter. And so I just doing my own thing on my own blog because if I try to join a writing group, it's like you got specific kind of rules you gotta follow that they want you to follow. And I'm always breaking some doggone rule by a narcissistic person who runs the doggone group. Or I'm always kicked out of the group or something like that by a narc at the top who illegally runs the damn group. So I just stay writing on my blog and my Ko-fi and just write whatever I want in the online perps that like they think they can barely read or write themselves and act like they think they got the authority to shun my writing and try to make rules for me and stuff, you know. But when I write fiction short stories, um I guess I just write like tell a little story without dialogue or maybe very little dialogue if I'm sleep deprived enough. But if I'm well rested, I can make like a very developed thorough story that can last longer than just 500 characters or 500 words. It can be a little longer than that. But anything I try to accomplish, the gang stalkers, they sabotage it. And that's why I have not been able to get out of my situation. Um, and they want to blame me for what they did to me, and think I should be responsible for their torment and torture and abuse and sabotage towards me. And then they got a whole bunch of fake, I mention all the time, the fake TI perps or target individuals accepting bribes, deals, or whatever, and then turn into a perp secretly and quietly. They secretly and quietly turn into a perp, and then they're very subtly and slowly and gradually start changing or acting different in a way you don't notice right away. And then eventually, after you caught on to what they did and exposed them, then they got the smear campaign and they got a whole bunch of flying monkeys to back them up. They got their own cult following against me. And then the popular fakes in the TI community, they're all joining a slander campaign and bully me. And I heard that they lied to a targeted individual, and they even lied to me. But I knew about this before they came to me, that that the perps will lie to you and say, well, if you accept this deal, then your gang stalking will end once and for all. If you become a prostitute and a perp or whatever, or if and so that they trying to, and I didn't realize that Alex Dupree was stalking and following me, and he's a satanic Freemason, a satanic homosexual Freemason, and he admitted it. He admitted to me. And so it's like, I never knew, why would a gay man want to traffic a straight female? I mean, sex traffic. I don't get it. But I know I don't know that much about the human trafficking or sex trafficking department with pimps and prostitutes, like, and drugs and stuff. I don't know that. I don't have that much knowledge about that. But it's like I don't know much about anything, because the foster mom years ago had us overly sheltered. And I always hated being outside. Now I got no choice because of being homeless on the streets. So, me being homeless on the streets, I got no choice but to be outside. And I really hate it. But then, even living in Denton, Texas, I did nothing but stay inside all day, every day. And if I did go out, it would be just to UNT, University of North Texas campus, to go use their public computers at the library, and then come back and be there all day long, and then come back home. And I was living in an area where it was safe to walk like 10 or 20 minutes, and it was safe to walk at 2 o'clock in the morning. But I would go straight back home. But it was nothing in Denton, Texas, and it was depressing to live there. Depressing and scary. And the biological mom, Frances, would always call it a ghost town. She even hated it. So, well, the fact that I not long ago woke up and I'm still feeling lagging, sleep deprived feeling, I'm going to try to write another short story today before I leave the library and put it in the community post. So within the next hour or two, be looking in the community post for whatever short story I might write. I don't know what I'm going to work on yet. I don't have anything in mind. I'm going to just throw something out there. And so, it's like I've been feeling cold all day long, even in here. It's like for some reason it's colder in here than usual. And like at the other library, it's always too cold. But then lately they got new manager there, so it's not as cold as it used to be with the other people. But in this room, I don't know why it's so cold today. Way colder than usual. So thanks for listening to me, and y'all gonna see me in the next couple of hours.